Hey associates! This video summarizes the expectations and requirements for the final presentation about public speaking remains a top skill in most industries and careers. It goes beyond just sort of the verbal, physical talking in front of people and extends to the outlining process, to the content you decide to deliver, and any visual aids that you're using to complement your presentation. So you will be assessed on all three of those areas in this project. Let's get started. You have three main tasks to complete this assignment. First, you need to create a speaking outline. The presentation is only going to be 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. So it's really important that you outline what content from your 10 to 12 page report is the most important, relevant, and valuable for this general lay audience, which, are your classmates and peers. The speaking outline can really be in whatever format and style that makes sense for you, as long as it's really clear, what content you're going to be covering, the organization of it, and the transitions you're going to be using. Some people like to just do kind of quick bullets. Other people like to create a full-on script. Whatever works for you is great, as long as I can tell that you've thought out what information is going to be said, when, where, how long that should take, and that you're able to rehearse. The next task is, creating and submitting your PowerPoint. I know that there are a lot of different, visual aid and presentation tools out there today, but for this assignment, we're all going to just use PowerPoint. It's, the sort of bread and butter, old faithful of the business and just presentation world. So yeah, once you learn this, it's the basics. You can obviously go off and play around with a lot of the other really cool new tools that they have out there. So with your PowerPoint, you are limited to 10 slides in your slide deck plus a title. So in total, you'll have 11 slides, 10 will be content, and those 10 are also going to be timed for 20 seconds apiece. Check out this video that I made on just a really quick walkthrough on setting up the automatic slide transitions, because that is part of your required materials, is you need to set up your PowerPoint that way. And the last task, of course, will just be presenting to your class. We will be presenting in the lecture hall to the full, 50 of your peers, which I know seems like a really big crowd. It might be a little nerve-wracking, but don't worry, we're all going to go through this together. It's a great skill to just get up there and practice speaking to a little bit larger of a group. You will be signing up through our doodle poll for your specific presentation time and day this semester. As far as expectations, most of those are going to come in with the PowerPoint. So you are expected to use the strong principles of design when it comes to visual aids and presentations that we've talked about in class. Basically, I am looking for things like, don't clutter your slides. Remember, you only have 20 seconds, so don't embed more than that amount of information onto your slide because you won't be able to get through it all. Also, I really want you to think about the audience and the space. You're familiar with what our lecture hall looks and sounds like. You also know what types of things like color and font size work well and maybe don't work as well because you've been attending lecture all semester. So think about all those elements and incorporate those considerations and improvements into your own PowerPoint. Now, I know that public speaking can be a really nerve-wracking thing for some people. So the bulk of your grade on this assignment really is coming from your speaking outline. That's worth 25 points. Your PowerPoint slides, those are worth 25 points. And then those remaining 25 points are going to come from your actual presentation. And, as long as you are putting in effort and you're trying your best, don't worry too much about those last 25. However, I will be evaluating very critically the attire that you choose to wear. So some of those, really controllable elements. So make sure that you show up in clothes that mirror, the professional standards and reflect the career and the field that you're going into. So, no PJs, no hoodies, or sweatshirts or things like that. Dress to impress as you give this presentation, like you're speaking to, the public and some stakeholders on the issue. The required minimum elements for this assignment are professional, appropriate dress during your Gatsby. Shh. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Stay. The required minimum elements for this assignment are wear appropriate business attire, stick to the Pechacucha style, 10 slides, 20 seconds each. To complete this assignment, you will be practicing a couple key communication skills. Alright, so through this assignment, you will be organizing a cohesive presentation. You will be designing Gatsby. To complete this assignment, you will be practicing organizing a cohesive presentation, designing visual aids to complement your verbal presentation, and determining the most relevant and necessary information for a general audience. Basically the key objective here is for you to be able to reduce, this really lengthy, more technical 10 to 12 page final report into a really brief, concise, almost like an elevator pitch type of presentation, that could be given at something like a business pitch meeting or competition, or given out to the general public. Or, and then this is really helpful, think about if you're at some sort of networking event or even just like a cocktail party and somebody asks your opinion on this key topic in your industry, you should be able to, explain and tell them your position, how you feel, even your possible solution or innovation, in just a few minutes, because nobody wants to be stuck in a conversation for 5-10 minutes just listening to you. So 3.5 minutes is probably all you're going to get in those types of scenarios. So it's important that you can just rattle off, have the research, have the position, have the understanding in that short amount of time. This assignment reflects the Pechacucha style of presentation, which forces you to be really concise and thoughtful in the information that you share. I will be grading your speaking outline so that you did it and it's clear and it makes sense, as well as your PowerPoint file, which are both uploaded to Canvas prior to your presentation. Content-wise, you need to orient your audience to the topic. You need to provide any relevant background information and history on your industry and your topic. Then the bulk of the information should really be spent on, what you found throughout this research, ending with your position or your solution here. So a potential breakdown, loosely, just to help guide you, could be something like 20% could be spent on the introduction. 30% of the time would be spent on relevant, background information that might be needed. 40% of the time would be what you found throughout the research process. That's important for them to know. And then the remaining 10% would just be kind of wrapping up and concluding.